Good evening, everybody.
Hey guys, greetings from Curaçao and welcome to GenLife.
My name is Dr. Peter Vertigem.
My name is Mariel Kuitunen.
We are the founders of GenLife, and as Mariel said, today we are in Curaçao.
You know, the best part of network marketing is that it allows you to have a job where you can work wherever in the world it is that you happen to be in. I welcome you to get familiar with GenLife, and I really recommend you to have a look at what we are about, because GenLife is truly offering you an international opportunity where it is up to you to decide where it is that you want to be working at.
And as you can see, she said you can be working all over the world. Well, today we're working in the Caribbean, and what could be better than that?
I am so happy to leave you at the very capable hands of Dr. Peter Verdigem. Enjoy GenLife.
Thank you, Mariel. Okay, I'm going to take over from here, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about GenLife, this fantastic opportunity that we have to offer for the whole of Europe at this moment, all 27 different European Union countries, including Norway, which is not part of the EU, but of course we don't want to forget our friends in Norway as well. As I said, I'm one of the founders, of the co-founders of GenLife, and I want to talk to you tonight about how we came to this point in our life today. And what is GenLife about? We have different backgrounds. Mario and myself have worked more than 15 years in direct sales. Direct sales is a unique distribution channel that is used all over the world, mostly to introduce unique, innovative products to the world. And that's exactly what we have. My background is in biochemistry. Mariel's background is in sales. And that makes a unique combination because you need both in order to be able to deliver that innovation to the market. My story started more than 10 years ago when I was working in product development for an international dietary supplement company. And I was working in developing different kind of products. I spent a lot of time in my PhD research, studying vitamin A and how it affects our healthy vision. I developed prostate cancer products. I developed menopausal products. I developed a lot of antioxidant products, cholesterol management products, you name it. I believe strongly because of my studies and because of the time I worked and read all about the clinical studies that were performed by many, many university groups around the world, that nutrition plays such an important role in our health. And I know that you believe that too. You believe that too because we know that if we have too little of healthy nutrients, of macronutrients such as proteins and fats and carbohydrates, but particularly in micronutrients. Micronutrients are little nutrients like minerals, like vitamins that play an essential role in our biochemistry. And that's why I believe in that. I've seen so many studies where micronutrients can have a very beneficial effect on our overall health. Sometimes it helps you to reduce a certain symptom you have, but most of the time they're being put to use for preventative measures, for health concerns, for biochemical processes that we want to run optimally in our body. Now I'm going to switch over to some slides. So you will see me reduced in the corner of the screen, and I will keep the chat window open. That means that if you have a question during the presentation, I will see it coming by. I won't answer them at that point, but in the end, we will answer and go through the questions one by one. So now I'm going to start the slideshow. One moment here, and so that you can learn all about our opportunity. As I said, GenLife is a science-based company. We believe that nutrition is at the heart of our health. Nutrition, in fact, are the tools to make sure our body can stay healthy. A very well known statement that some of you have heard me say in live presentations is, I believe our body knows best what to do. Our body has spent millions of years through evolution becoming to what it is today. And that means that our body is so much smarter than we can ever be. We just have to make sure that our body gets the tools in order to do what it does best. And those tools, ladies and gentlemen, are not pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals are synthetic laboratory-made chemicals that help to fix a problem once you have it. Nutrients are the tools that our body needs to stay healthy, to make sure our biochemistry runs optimally. That's the starting point of GenLife. But then comes the realization that how does it make sense that we are all taking the same supplements? If you go to a supermarket today, to a pharmacy, if you speak to a doctor, if you buy products online, you're going to see companies that have made a product and then decided to tell you why you need that product. And it should be just the other way around. We are not the same. We know that. We look differently. We have different parents. We have different biochemistry. We have different DNA in our body, which is the basis of our functioning. So it doesn't make sense that everybody should take the same product. But that's how it is in our market today. Every company makes a product, tries to make as much of it as possible to make it cheaper, and then tells you why you need it. Well, it cannot be the best. And in our hearts, we all know that. We're not the same. So we believe that everybody is unique. Everybody is unique in their biochemistry. And we believe as a result of that, everybody has a unique risk profile for modern health concerns and biochemical functioning. And that's exactly because those nutrients are the tools for us to stay healthy. That is exactly the reason why, in principle, everybody should be receiving a different product. But as you can imagine, it is very difficult to do that from an economical perspective. How can you make a product for every customer you have every time new? That is a logistical nightmare, a financial nightmare, and in terms of investment, a nightmare, as you can imagine, right? So nevertheless, we at GenLife had the vision one day that moment will come when we can create a product exactly matching the biochemistry and the risk profile of our customers. Now, a long time ago, about 2 years ago, we came together, the co-founders of GenLife, and we decided this is the time when science has progressed enough to be able to develop that concept and bring it live to the market. Now, how do we bring it to the market? Well, GenLife is not a store. You can't find us on the main street of big cities around the world. We chose the direct sales channel. Now, what is direct sales if you never heard of it? Some of you have maybe worked in that unique channel. For some of you, it may be a new channel. Direct sales means that we have an online business, yes, and it is a distribution model where we choose to work with people that know our products because they have their own experiences by using it and share that story with other people around them. And for that sharing, because they do that, we reward them generously. It's really as simple as that. You start using the product, you start talking about your experience with your people around you, and we will reward you for that effort. That is direct sales. We take care of everything else. We take care of the order management, we take care of the regulatory affairs, we take care of the legal affairs, we take care of the shipment. You don't have to worry about it. Your job is to talk with other people around it. Another thing that we found very important in our business model is that we wanted to make sure that we're not limited to borders. Very often companies in our field, and there are hundreds of them, I worked for a number of them, I've built up a lot of experience in this channel, Mariel, the same thing. Many of those companies come and they start in a specific market, probably the biggest market in Europe, that's typically Germany or the United Kingdom. And that is understandable from, again, a financial perspective, but it is not understandable from your perspective as a distributor of such a company, because you're not bound to a certain region or a certain country. You have people that you know around Europe, in fact, around the world. And that's why we want to make sure that we are not building hurdles for you to be very effective in sharing that message and helping us to create the GenLife story around the world. We wanted to make sure you can sponsor or interest people around the world, regardless of where you live. We don't want to create borders. We want to make it simple and a rewarding compensation structure around it. You just need to be earning money for the efforts that you put into your business. Now, what is our product? Our product, as I said, is a personalized nutrition product. We believe, again, that everybody needs something different. It needs to be tailored. It cannot be the same for everyone. So the first question is, how do you know what you need, right? You can, for example, ask questions to people to find out what their lifestyles is. You can do blood tests to find out what their current level is of, for example, fatty acids or minerals or vitamins. But we believe at GenLife that the most effective, efficient source of information is your DNA. Your DNA, you heard about it, you see a picture on the right, which is a double helix, is the body's manual. It contains all the information that our body needs to function properly. It codes for all enzymes, for all proteins, for all important processes in our body. And as you can imagine, you get half of the DNA from your father and half from your mother. And during that duplication process, sometimes things do not get copied well enough. And that's what we call genetic variations. Genetic variations happen to us all. More than 99% of all our DNA is exactly the same. You, me, Mariels, everybody around us. But in a little part, there can be variations. And since those variations code for the processes in our body, it means if you have certain variations, you can say something about how your body works. But even better, you can say something about your future body's work, particularly also about your risk for certain health concerns. And health concerns, we have all. We have many, many different health concerns. We chose to focus ourselves on the most important health concerns. And we call those health concerns today degenerative health concerns. Here you see not here yet, but we have constructed a list of health concerns that we focus on with GenLife. And those are health concerns that fit into two categories. First, they have to be relevant. They have to be all around us. So people have to know about these health concerns, and they have to see them in their family or their friends or their people around them, because that makes them relevant. That makes them the health concerns that you worry about, that you want to prevent. Second, we wanted to make sure that those health concerns had a nutritional angle. And in heart, we are a nutrition company. We want to provide you a nutritional solution or help to delay or prevent or even completely stop those health concerns. So those were the two important criteria for us to lock these health concerns on the list. I'll show you the list in a moment. Now, then, of course, we have to test to what your variation is in your genes that can predict us what health concerns you're highly at risk to get or lower risk to get. And we partnered with a very famous laboratory. It's called Novagenia in Salzburg in Austria, and they are specialists in DNA testing. They do that for a number of clients. GenLife is one of them, but most of their clients are pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, patient groups, and together with us, they have developed a nutritional DNA testing. And we test for 52 different genetic variations. So at 52 points of our DNA code, we get your specific coding, meaning that we can talk about what risk and what biochemical processes you have functioning at 100% or maybe at a lower percentage in your body. And that's the information that we need to build for you only and only for you a unique product that helps your body stay in its perfect shape and prevent future health concerns. That is exactly what we do at GenLife. Our laboratory is ISO 9001 certified, meaning that it fulfills all the regulatory requirements, of course, otherwise it couldn't be operating in the European Union. It's also very safe with your data. The samples come in, they're coded, they're anonymized, and once we have the result ready, your samples are going to be destroyed. And the sample taking is quite easy. When you register with GenLife, you get a box like this in the mail or handed to you by the person who showed you this video. And that box is a simple sample taking kit. It contains 3 little cotton swabs, and you swirl them through your mouth. And that is enough to collect cells that can be used for the DNA testing. Now, you mail it back in a normal mail to Austria, to GenLab, and then, depending on your sample quality, it takes about 6 to 10 business days for the receipt of your GenTest report. And that report is going to look like this. The report is a book about you. It's fascinating to read. I mean, very many people that started with GenLife, they can't wait till this book comes on the doorstep. And it discusses you, your genetic variation, and your risk profile for these health concerns. And as I mentioned, these are the lists that we took based on their relevance and based on their nutritional angle. Number 1, as you see, cardiovascular disease. Very, very important health concern in Europe, because most people today die because of cardiovascular disease. Now, of course, this is a mix of health concerns. We have high blood pressure, we have atherosclerosis, we have cholesterol buildup, we have good cholesterol, we have bad cholesterol, we have inflammation. So there are a whole bunch of different things that play a role in the development of heart disease. Oxidative stress we measure for. Oxidative stress, the key in so many different degenerative health concerns that we're facing today. Type 2 diabetes, detox from heavy metals, from chemicals and from our environment, inflammatory diseases, Alzheimer's diseases, osteoporosis, macular degeneration, you name it. Those are the concerns that we know that you are concerned about, and that we also know we can help your body prevent from occurring later in your life. That is what we do at GenLife. This report comes to you. You can get it as a PDF in your email, and if you want it also, you can get it on paper to make a nice booklet. Your name is on it, obviously, because it's only for you, right? I mean, you can read other people's book. I mean, in fact, I do a lot of video conferences with people who got their book and who want to go step by step through the results and see what their results are. And you can find a couple of those on GenApp, our app that you can download videos from, and you can see what a detailed discussion in the book. And I'm always open to be available to you to have a discussion about your personal result of the Gen test. So once that happens, we are going to be able to provide you, as I said, a risk. I take an example on Alzheimer's disease. Now, Alzheimer's disease is one example of a degenerative health concern. Degenerative means it develops slowly over time. Everybody knows that Alzheimer's is not a process of one day to the next. Like you're always healthy, and then the next day you suddenly have Alzheimer's. No, it doesn't work that way. It takes maybe 10, 20 years to develop. And that is exactly the time that we have to intervene in that process. And we know that so many nutrients actually have a benefit to make your body probably delay or prevent the disease as a whole. And that's what we do. The book is going to contain, for all those health concerns I listed, the ideal level of ingredients that we know, based on science, have an effect on preventing that health concern. So, you know, if you look at studies today on these ingredients, you see always an amount that they used in a study. And that is I can say, an average amount. And the word average, what does that mean? That means half of the population gets too little, half of the population gets too much. That's exactly wrong, right? Because there's nobody who gets the right amount. And that's exactly what we solve with the Gen test. We give you which ingredients you need, which are going to be most effective for you, based on your biochemistry, based on a DNA result. But more importantly, we tell you exactly how much you're going to be needing of those different ingredients. And then we make this unique product called GenHealth. GenHealth is the final product that we make after the test. This is what you see here on the picture is a month supply of the product. And it is the first truly personalized nutrition prevention product. And it's a bold statement, but I can make it. You know why? Because I've seen, and I of course did my market research when we started this company, and there are many products, not many, there are a couple of products in the market that have made an attempt. Companies that, for example, made 5 products, different ones, different versions of the product, and then divide the group of customers into 5 groups. And then everybody gets one of the 5 products. That's an attempt. That's a good start. But it's not what GenLife wanted to go. We wanted to have everybody its own unique product. And that is what we're first at in the market. We also deliver the ingredients in so-called microtransporters. You see here in the box sticks. That's how we deliver our products. It's not the typical capsule or drink or pill that you would expect. We put them in little balls, and that is a unique other feature of the product. These balls, called microtransporters, each have a different dissolve time in our gut, release time. And that's important because if you put 36 ingredients, as we have, into one pill, and you put them all free, you set them free at the same time, the same spot in your gut, you're going to be having competitive absorption. That means some ingredients will be absorbed better, and some ingredients will not be absorbed at all, because other ones are at the same spot at the same time there. And your body can only do one thing at the same time. That is why these microtransporters spread out the absorption of the ingredients over a 16-hour period. So you take the product in the morning, and every ingredient is in its different own bowl and is released at a different spot where the absorption is maximum. It prevents co-absorption from different minerals, for example, inhibiting each other's absorption. But it also ensures that vitamin A, for example, that's a fat-soluble vitamin, is only released from the bowl when it reaches a fatty environment, because that's when the absorption is maximized. So we've selected those 36 ingredients based on 10, 20, 30 years of scientific studies. You can read all about those on our website. We didn't do those studies. I mean, we're not smarter than all the universities around the world. They have done that. We just take that information, decide if it's good enough, if it's solid enough, and then put it in our product, but not at their volume, not at their amount, only at your amount, at your unique optimized amount. That is what GenHealth is doing. And you see the box here, your name is going to be on it. It's your product. It's not for anybody else. Your name is even on the stick. That is a fantastic, unique development. As I said, the first personalized, truly personalized nutrition product on the market. Now, let me also spend a few minutes on our compensation structure, because it's important. It is a model that helps us to grow our business as fast as possible. And it rewards you for sharing your story. Now, that's maybe not so unique because you share stories every day. I mean, when you read a book, when you go to a restaurant. Yesterday, I went to a restaurant here in Curacao, and I went there because somebody else told me it was a good restaurant, right? That's why I went there. But the other person did not get a fee or a reward for that recommendation. In fact, it was the restaurant who reaped up all the benefits of me coming there. That's how economics work, of course. But the uniqueness of direct sales is that we are going to reward the people who make a recommendation. And, you have different type of compensation structures on the world. Mostly are very complicated because they are, layers on layers of different compensation. We wanted to make it simple. A compensation plan has to be simple. You have to be able to explain to somebody else how you get rewarded, because that is powerful when you tell that along with the product to somebody else that if you can also share the information of how they are going to be rewarded if they start sharing their story, then it's of course much quicker to broaden the group of people who use it. So there were three important pillars that we believe are effective in building up a direct sales business. I'll talk to you in a moment about those three pillars and how we built a compensation structure around those. Also important is, I said to you already, we don't want to create borders. So if you are telling your story to somebody in Denmark or in Germany or in Greece, it doesn't make any difference to us. In whole the EU, we can start registering people and we can make sure they receive their test and receive their product. We also want important to realize that at GenLife, you don't sell product. People think sometimes when they hear this, oh, I'm going to have to start selling products to my neighbors and friends. No, it's not about selling. In fact, you can't. You cannot sell our product. Why? Because your name is on the product. Imagine that. You cannot get your product shipped to you with the name of your neighbor on it. It's impossible because we don't know what your neighbor needs. That's the uniqueness of the product. We first have to test them. So the only thing you do is talk to your neighbor about it and make sure that the neighbor orders directly from us. There is no handling of any product from your side. It's not product sales. It's truly and only advising, sharing your story with those other people. That's what makes it a very powerful compensation plan. Now, coming back to the three pillars, what do we think are the most effective? And it's not just us. Everybody in direct sales knows that these are the three most effective things. First of all, we have to find new people. We reward you through GenWealth, our compensation plan, for finding new people. Every time you are going to be talking to some other person and sharing your story, whether it is a distributor or a customer, and that person signs up, registers with GenLife, you are going to be rewarded for that effort. And that reward is 149 euros and 75 cents every time for the rest of your life, as long as you are a GenLife health advisor. That's what you get, rounded up 150 euros. That keeps on going. That's the first very important money that you will be receiving for every time you find a new person to join our GenLife family. That is a very important principle also in direct sales. We know from all our experience people have to see very quickly a reward for their actions. You don't have to wait like a year before you can be paid into our compensation plan. No, you can start tomorrow. If you register today, you get your own GenLife Health Advisor ID number, you can talk tomorrow about this product to the next person, and you can get paid for that right away, even before you have your own product. So the second pillar of our compensation plan is duplication, a very famous term in direct sales. Duplication means that you are going to be teaching other people that you have told about GenLife about, that what they need to do what you have done. That is duplication. Basically teach other people what you have done and how they should do it. And of course, you should be rewarded for that too. So every time you are going to be finding a new person, you get the 150. But if that person is going to find another person, then of course that person gets 150, but you get rewarded too, 30 euros in this case, because you have taught that person what to do. So you're going to build a team. You're going to build a team of people that are all going to be sharing their stories, and you're going to be rewarded every time that happens, not just for your own sharing, but also for the sharing that people that you have found are doing. And then the third pillar is what we call royalty commission. Royalty commission is, as it says, it is a payment for as long as people use the product. So the complete team that you have built in your organization, for every month that they use GenHealth, you are going to get a percentage of that product sales. That's fair because you have built that team, and you will be rewarded as long as you're a GenLife Health Advisor for that consumption in your entire team. We pay that royalty commission up to 8 levels deep in your organization, depending on the rank that you have in our system. Now, that's not all. We also have different pools that we reward to higher ranks in our compensation plan. We have, of course, also incentives. Our first incentive is coming up very soon. We're going to take people who qualify for this incentive to Austria, to our Gen Lab, and to make sure that they see where the test is done, how the product is made, and of course have a lot of fun and networking together among people who all build up their GenLife business. We will have many more of those incentives because that's also a very important part of direct sales. Enjoying being together, being in a common family, and rewarding and recognizing for the effort and the success that people have achieved. That is GenLife. Of course, you're not alone there, you know. You have a very important person. That's the person who has invited you to this business. We call that your upline or your sponsor in direct sales. But there is also a separate company-driven support system. We call that Gen Support. Gen Support will be fully operational from January 1st. We're currently in the pre-launch phase. And this will be a app-driven, a mobile-driven tool where you will have access to all kinds of training materials. We make sure you have leadership audio files. We make sure that we have video files about building an effectively a big organization. We provide you training. We provide you tools. And that is a support system that many companies have, but we decided to deliver it to everyone from day one. And of course, there's a cost associated with that. It's costly to make such a program available, particularly with all the the tools that we provide in it. So there is a monthly charge of 16 euros, 15.99, but we only charge that provided you make at least twice that in commission. Now think about that. That's fair. In a lot of companies, you are going to be paying for that tool, even if you don't make commission yet. That's not the case of GenLife. We realize that when you don't make commission yet, you probably need most of that tool. So that's when we're going to give it to you for free. The moment you start making double that amount, we're going to start charging a monthly fee for a subscription fee for the use of that Gen Support app. A very unique model. So I think I've shared to you in this minutes a lot about GenLife and what we stand for. Mariel's back here now. And, you know, it is a truly unique opportunity that we deliver to the market for a couple of reasons. A unique product, a personalized product, a very interesting conversation starter. So it's very easy to talk with people about this product, a very big challenge often in other companies. I mean, here you have a product that people ask you about what it is, as opposed to the other way around, right? We have a borderless opportunity. We have a very simple compensation plan, but a very fair compensation plan that divides the profits of the company among the people who are the most important in growing this business. And that's why we stand so strongly behind GenLife. And that's why we see such a tremendous growth in the only 3 months that we're currently active on the market. Yes, it's only 3 months. Can you believe that? It took us a long time to develop it, but now we're live, and now you can be among the members of the first group that joined this opportunity throughout Europe. Marielle, you have anything to add?
Yes. So were you not in the best of hands with Dr. Peter? You know, when the webinar is done, I'm going to send each and every one of you an email about how to register. The decision that you have to make today is if you are unique enough to stand behind your biochemistry, if you are unique enough to get a product that is matched uniquely and exactly to your needs, as Dr. Peter was telling us before. The second step after that is when the decision is made, is to register. And I'm going to send you instructions on how to do that. And then after that, the world, my darling friends, is your oyster.
Fantastic. So thank you very much for tuning in tonight. And we hope you start talking to other people about this unique opportunity so that our family is growing. Now we have the chance to answer some questions. If you have, you can type them in the chat window on the right. If you have, if you don't have, it's okay too, because it means I've been very clear and very concise. It's always a good compliment if I don't have questions.
Can I have a question?
You can have a question.
You know, we very often get asked about the one of the very unique USPs on GenHealth, and that is the individual modification of the product. So what if I have a medical condition, or what if I have a circumstance in my life that demands an extra amount of something or a little less of something else? Can we do that with GenHealth? After all, it's done for me only.
Yeah, Maria's right. This is a common question, and it comes out of frustration, that question. Yes. I'll tell you why. Because there are so many people in this world, in this community, that say, okay, I want to use a nutritional product, but I'm stuck with the one that they sell in the pharmacy or the supermarket, and it contains 20 ingredients, and one of them I can't take. My doctor says I can't take it because I use this specific medication or for some other reason. So they're stuck because they can't take the whole thing, because it's either the whole thing or nothing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we also solved that problem, because as GenLife is uniquely made for you, it means we can change that even after you get your results. So if you get your results and you get a list of ingredients with the amounts that you need, you can still say to us, well, I'm sorry, great product, but I can't take vitamin K. And we can take that out. We can take it out. That's unbelievable on the market today. There's no product that is able to do that. We can take that specific ingredient out, or we can say, we double the ingredient for some reason if you may have that, right? Because it's individual, so we can do that. And that means you can still benefit of all the other ingredients in the product. Now, having said that, it is our philosophy, of course, that the DNA test determines what you exactly need. But because of an existing medical condition or an existing pharmaceutical use, you may have reasons to want to change that, and we can. And that is really, really unique to this market today.
That makes us really exceptional. Nobody else today can do that. And that means that every customer in the market is available to you, because that puts you in a position where you can offer them and yourself something that is uniquely tailored to your needs.
So we wish everybody, there's no more questions. We wish everybody in Europe, or everybody that tuned in. We also have already some interest in America. So, I mean, there's certainly some Americans on this call as well. And we wish you a good evening, or America, good afternoon. And we hope to see you very soon in the market somewhere. We're going to go to Finland next week, where we have a whole series of opportunity meetings, face-to-face presentations, and you can bring all your guests. Check out Gen App. We have the whole calendar. If you go to genlife.today/Gen App, one word, GenApp, you can download that on your smartphone, and you're going to be able to log into our calendar where we are, when the webinars are, and when the live presentations are.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for now.
It was good seeing you.
Good luck building your GenLife business. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.